there's a lot of, I don't know for sure, there seems to be a lot of, well, we don't live in the community with those that are homeless, but we know that, there's a lot of, and that's okay if it's legit. That's okay. That's what we're here for. As I'll tell you some tradition, I believe that a lot of people that come, majority come from the house on the corner. And, I don't know exactly how we want to do this. I know we said families and said stuff like this, but, we have 7 or 8 boxes of supplies in one house, all them in there together and food. I don't know if that's what we're going to do, but at the same time, we may look a little bit further to it. People give us their address and stuff like this. I'm not, so I'm just throwing it out there for y'all, to consider how we can count some of this stuff. And so, I want to talk to Brother Tank, talk to Brother Tank, who will before be recommended when it comes to, him being a man, talking about people. And so, Brother Tank, I don't know what you're doing when people come in and stuff like this, but I want you to make your presence felt. I want them to see you. And I want you to stand out because they coordinate everything. But I want you to stand, I want you to watch, and I want them to know that there is a man here in this place. I know some of y'all be packing and stuff like this, and it's appropriate as long as we're doing it right. We got the right to do that. But sometimes I feel bad about it. I think I would sure that we want to win. I'll be thinking about that. I think my brother Tank, I just want Brother Tank to be the same. There is a good guy to it. And we thank God for his protection, his angel. We still want our purpose to be known. I do thank you for just coming to be this month, looking out in the industry. There's some things I want to talk about, but I want to first of all say anything about my work. So, thank you. I want to talk about things like that. Some ministry, some church, order, procedures, whatever.
We need to make sure when we have visitors, if they come Sunday school, like whoever's speaking or whatever, whoever's if take the people does the offering, say, hey, Sunday school has concluded, we will start service at noon. Because 2 ladies came about 2 or 3 Sundays ago, and they came for Sunday school, and because nobody said anything, I guess they wasn't sure what to do. Nobody had left. They still was like, they knew they didn't know, like, were we done for the day or whatever. So when I came back out, they were gone. So, I didn't get a chance, me and Ebony spoke to them, but I didn't get a chance to get the name, information, or anything. We need to just make sure if we see somebody new or whatever, that we kind of make sure we greet them, definitely. And then, make sure they, fill out the little guest book in the front or whatever. And let them know, Sunday school, we have 2 services. We have Sunday school, and then we have service first at 12. Because I don't think they knew that. They left, right, even though nobody was leaving, music was still going, but they didn't know, probably didn't know what was going on. So probably need to make that announcement if we have any guests. Okay, Sunday school has concluded, we'll start Sunday worship at noon or whatever. So that way they have an idea of the things, But we'll stay for a little bit longer.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take this after you do the offering. I know you mentioned about the reading, but like I said, just go there and just look, say, some students over, and we're going to Zoom at 12 o'clock for our service. You know, we got time, we don't have time. We want to, we like to use that way. But we just, we come to the back of prayer, but we're going to Zoom service at 12 o'clock out, morning worship service. That way those that don't know, it's important that we let people know how we do it. So that's good. So we'll work on that, okay? Yes, sir. Gotcha. Anything else? Okay, anything else? Okay, there's some things that I want to talk about. They're not real major issues, but I just want to do things a little bit more appropriate. I started the other day to move those two chairs from the back, because what we have is people are taking resident in those chairs while service is going on. And those chairs are not for any of us to just sitting in while service. We have a few. And what I've seen is that people go and sit back there, some go sit back there, hold the baby, bring the baby, do some with the baby, and into the nursery, do what they do, come out, go back to the food. Because come in, we have too many people standing in the doorway. If somebody come in, they don't know where to go, and ain't nobody, they stand in the doorway, ain't tell nobody where to go, we need to clear the doorways. We don't need to be blocking them, stuff like this. Come sit down. And as we had said before, in the nursery, there should be one person per child. And I can see every now and then somebody might say, well, I need some help with the baby. That's fine. If somebody that occurs. But we don't need it's not a offset room for people that just want to go and get on their phone. No, we're not gonna do that. That's a nursery. That's for the kids. And so I wish Shamar says I could tell him to kind of, govern that area. If you see people just lingering, tell them no, I said they need to have a seat in the pews. And I hate to just move those chairs, I will, if it takes that.
Well, I would say, like, every now and then, like, if you have a small child, you just watching them just sitting there watching them because you may not necessarily want to be in there, you want to hear the word, but you just want to be able to watch them while you're sitting there. Now, I've seen people do, because, I would do that. Like, if my kids are in there and I want to still hear the word, I might let them go in there and, play for a little bit, whatever they're going to do, because they, might be interrupting the service or whatever they might have be, or eating something or whatever. I might want to I want to hear the word, but still make sure because I don't want to be fully in the nursery if I still want to hear the word. So.
Well, let me ask you, y'all, if I'm not in there, but can you hear the word while you're in there?
Can't hear that.
Not completely. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I see how people can sit right there and still be looking in the playroom, because you still be trying to hear the word, but you want to make sure your child good too,
I can understand that if it's childish.
Right.
The child is, they're not doing anything that can be disruptive in there. I can see that, but the part that I notice is people sitting in their chair right there and hold their child. That's why I did go confront somebody, and I asked them, I said, well, this chair is not for this. Go sit in the pew. Well, that's the place to be. Okay?
Well, not to contradict you, I'm just, sometimes if your baby, if it's a nursing baby, you know, you wanna stay close to them instead of keep getting up. Well, I mean, I get it, it should be a time limit, like, you know, you should be able to gauge, you know, I'm just saying, as a mother, sometimes we have to do some things to keep that baby quiet or some extra stuff, you know, and we want to be closer to whatever it is we got to get to versus keep getting up and having to go back there. And, you know, you got to think about it. If you're sitting there and you get up and go, people going to stop and look, you know, so that can be disruptive. I mean, I guess I'm just trying to look at it as a mother, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
You know, and I didn't have to breastfeed my children, but still, you know, you might have to go back there. And then, you know, if that person, if baby gonna get, you know, start getting rowdy or whatever, you wanna kind of be close so that way you can just go on in there. And then you come back. Now, I get it. It shouldn't be a place where you just sit back there because you just wanna sit back there. I totally get that. Like,
Well,
yeah. And not blocking the doorways. I totally get that, definitely.
Well, you know, they can, you know, if they're sitting up further in the sanctuary and they're in that situation and they think they may have to, if they leave out there, they have to come back, just sit on the back row, sit further back where you won't disrupt somebody else. You know, like I said, you gotta see, middle ways or further up, you know, and you think something, you may have to go right back, just sit back a little bit further, but not in the chairs. I mean, we get too comfortable with everybody sitting in chairs like that. Even kids, you know, kids, I don't want them to just sit back there. Now, on youth Sunday, I kind of can understand it because kids are be back there just in their robes and, you know, they get together. So now I understand in a way them being back there, but we can't be blocking the doors. And we definitely have to govern the nursery. There's no need for three people be in the nursery with one baby. 4 people be in there, it shouldn't be necessary. So let's try to govern these things right. And I appreciate you letting y'all know how the sound is, because like I said, I can't speak on that because I'm not in there. But and that sounds a little bit more appropriate that you need to get a child at a time to kind of give off the energy. Yes, that's okay. But a certain amount of time, okay, I've played enough, let's go get the service. And you know, that's something this don't have this do with no, just this church issue. But I talk to Nana sometimes. I know Vivian, he had Nadia, she had to go get him a break. And I told Nadia, I said, look, I said, if you got to stay in the sanctuary, get him straight, that's okay with me. I said, because that's what he wanted to do. He's gonna keep you out of service, because he's gonna keep wanting to go to the playground. Right? I said, but you know, I want her to hear the word too. I want her, you know, to be absent from it. But I know we have active kids, we have kids that, you know, and every child is not the same, so we have to kind of adjust things. But what I want her to do, I want her to get him more, you know, used to being in the service and try to do things, you know, not too bad, but kids gonna be kids, and you know that. So I don't want nobody to think I'm unsympathetic to the needs of the children. But I'm just trying to keep things in a place where it don't escalate, get too great. Because if people see this, you know, you get left, that's what they want to do. You know, so, but not talking about it, not because I don't talk to her about it, you know. But, like I tell her, you know, I want her to, you know, just don't let him be a major distraction. You know, if you gotta get that switch, whatever, you may all of it, you gotta make him sit down. He ain't got no problem with that. You know, I had a problem way I was thinking yesterday, I went to a court and, it was, Maurice's son. Okay, I'm not going. Okay, if I want to, I will, but if I don't, I won't. But we was in the court and, he has a little baby, I think, about 8 months. Anyway, the baby at times would make a little sound, or, you know, wasn't real out of order. And his deputy, he would stand up there, and he just when the baby make a little sound, it wasn't like they just, no, they just, he'll look at like that. And he did about 3 times. And I sit there and I said, you know, it don't look like you just keep looking around at a baby or that husband and baby. Now, they just little sound like that. It wasn't nothing major. He'll look around and it started to bother me. And I just sit there and I had to pray. I said, cause I really want to tell him, you know, or ask him why you keep looking around at a baby. I really was challenged in that area. But I sit there and I pray. And you know, we got to think about how, you know, how to respond sometimes. And I didn't want to, you know, I know they won't order in the courtroom and the baby wasn't out of order or anything. That's the thing about it. I see the baby, I'm just talking to Eddie, but the baby ain't talking. They got tests found them out. Every night she moans, she sleep, whatever. But the way he kept doing it, it really bothered me. But I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend them concerning a child. Like I said, when I do stuff, sometimes I might do it, and then I have to maybe realize, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but I want people to understand what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep things in a loving place. I'm trying to keep things in an orderly place, a place where, you know, God will accept all of us. And so it's never to hurt anybody. I love children. Y'all know I do. But I'm also pretty stern with children. When I see them going a certain way, or that I see them thinking that they're gonna dictate stuff, not around me. I'm sorry. I can't let them think they're gonna control everything. And so that's how I respond, but I don't want people to think I don't love the child. I'm trying to hurt nobody. That is the last thing I want. That's the last thing I want to do today and for the rest of my life is to hurt anybody. But I know sometimes people gonna feel offended, they gonna feel hurt. Just tell them I ain't doing it to do that, to hurt them, but I'm doing it because it might be necessary. So with that said, you know, that's just, and I know y'all know my heart. I don't things happen, and we can't, everything will be the way we put it on paper. We said this way we want to do it, it's not going to be that way all the time. I had to learn that. So let's just work on things. You know, we don't want our children to be far from righteous. You know, we want them to know why we do things and how we do it, even though they may not understand it. We don't want to fall from it. So, you know, we have to kind of put when we're doing church, it's like a business. You know, we have to conduct ourselves, you know, according to the rules, regulations, laws, bylaws, whatever you got in place. We got to hold true to that. You know, we can't go in, I don't know why I want to say it, I almost don't know why I know it. We can't go in that job and do anything. But when you don't feel not fit, you don't feel a certain way, you got to consider it. I got to find out how to do it. So you got to keep church got to be better than you know what I'm talking. See, but Jesus didn't want us to change. He said, whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. For respect your supervisor, this and that. People can't do that on the job. You come anyway, you don't want to do it, you want to do regular work. So that's just one little situation I want to bring forth concerning that. Everything you have is really do. I'm going to talk to y'all.
Just making sure, like I said, not too much about in that situation. There are rules and regulations. We just need to make sure, everybody is adhering to those rules and regulations. Like, there should be even in the sanctuary. There should be even in the music room. There should be kids in the music room. Like, we need to make sure that is enforced because, like I said, you let somebody do it, then other people don't feel, hey, they let this person do it. I have to do it too. So we got to make sure whatever rules and regulations we got in place, that it goes across the board, regardless of who it is, it needs to be across the board.
It's kind of, we'll get it and then we'll listen because we don't have everybody here. We don't have everybody on one accord. And then when it comes up then, because somebody will know this is how we're doing it, and they may, see, the thing I'm trying to get faith in to do, and I'll talk to y'all about this, is we got to get out of ourselves. We got to get self out the way. You see what I'm saying? Oh, we're offending me, so I'm gonna leave the church. You're crazy stuff like that. You don't get offended somewhere, you don't get offended in everything. And that's a self, that's a flesh issue. Flesh issue when you can't take direction or you that's a flesh issue. When can't nobody tell you wrong, that's a flesh issue. And I'm trying to get others as well as myself. Not let everything be about myself. I'm trying to say the way I should respond. I was listening to a song on the way to church. And when the guy was talking about the nation and how poverty and famine and all this stuff going on. And one thing he said that really, he said, how will we respond? He said, God looking at the church, he said, how will we respond? So I listen to words that draw me or connect me to God and he said that. He said, how will we respond? One thing that I think about is, I try to keep the Holy Spirit, I try to keep him right in my thought process because I'm not needed. And that's just like in the situation in court, I was sitting up there trying to think about what I'm going to say, if I can say something, have to say something. And the Holy Spirit just kept on bringing it back. He said, don't premeditate what you say. He said, next time, I do what you say. But we always try to be prepared, but yeah, every time I would have a thought, what should I say? And when that time comes, I do what you say. And so this is how our life has to be. Our life has to be adjusted to the Word of God. You got to be adjusted. We can't just do it any kind of way. And it's good that the Holy Spirit is there to help us because that's just sometimes we don't really understand. That's just honest opinion. I don't know how to think, you supposed to know how to handle everything. Sometimes you may not. Situation come up, every situation ain't the same. So you got to make adjustment, and then you got to be ready at that time. So I just share. I don't mean I'm not. It ain't just talking about me. I'm talking about Holy Spirit, how he impacts my life. But anyway, we do have to just keep things properly oriented. to the best of our ability. Like I say, everybody not here at the same time, but you come out today, everybody don't know, we know. So if there are opportunities to come up with something, then we can say, well, this is what, and you ain't gotta put yourself, and I ain't nobody expecting you to say that this is what the pastor address. This is how he wants us to do this. And you ain't gotta fight, you ain't gotta fuck with it. Just tell them, and move on. Continue on, get her. One time, I gotta get him. Okay. It's a reminder too, you know, sometimes you can look back and so it's good. It's good. This the best ingredient for us to be on one accord is to be together. To be in, it's just for us when we gather and we hear it the same, then we should receive it the same, and that's why in a way I kind of don't. I like text is okay. Text is okay, but sometimes you text, you can say something in text, and people they may not receive it positively. They may receive it in a negative fashion, or and it happens. It does happen, but that's why it's good that if we can be together and feel the emotions and sense what's how it's coming forward. Because if I send on text, it might not come like I really feel it, but things happen. But that's good that we can still communicate some kind of way and get the word out. I don't have any major complaints about what we're trying to do, because we're still in the process. We're still in the process that we're still trying to perfect a whole lot of things. And some new things pop up, and then we have to try to address them, and this and that. But I just want y'all to just put your best foot forward. That's all I can ask. I can say the perfect foot, because it ain't perfect. I slip just a little bit, but let's get that traction back. Let's get back in place, and try to do the best for not just ourselves. I don't want this to be a selfish ministry, but for the people that come, that need our help. It's amazing, y'all. It's amazing. If we open up our eyes, look around, boy, this I know we said this world, but people are in some situations, and they need so much help. We can't do everything, but maybe we can do a little something. Maybe we can impact one person's life, two. It's okay, but it's just so much going on, and we make out say, how would we respond in this song? And I thought about it. I said, yeah, there has to be a response, and God looking for the church to respond. He's looking for just let's look at the government. Where the government now? He's looking for us to respond, and how we respond. Through prayer, through encouragement, inspiration. But we should respond. And I'm telling y'all, it seems like God got us in a whole different realm than we were a year ago. We're in a whole different realm now. Things are really, it's kind of, even though we might say we don't understand, but it's kind of making sense. And it's kind of coming together how what God is saying. Live by it. Live by it. What God wants us to live by it. It's coming to pass. And it's coming to us. And we're learning, we're growing. And let's just be open for the Holy Spirit to take us where we need to go. He the one that's gonna take us back. Can't go in the flesh. Gotta be spirit. And while I'm thinking about it, I have another suggestion. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I don't know if y'all would, I'm just throwing it out there, because y'all the team. Y'all the ones that's driving the boat. I thought about it. I said, maybe, I don't know if we can set up a little table out on the deck. And if y'all wanted people to fill out their paperwork out there before they come in, and I know a lot of people just walk in. I kind of don't like that. I'm serious. Every night now I look, because my phone it'll beep when and sometimes I look, and people just walk in, and I don't know if it could be overwhelming in here. Maybe like I said, you can watch one person or two people better than you can watch 7 or 8 of them at one time. So I'm just throwing out there. Y'all ain't got to do it. I'm just giving some idea. I thought about maybe put a table out there, have some instructions what they need to do. You need to fill out these forms. If you have areas that you want to highlight, just put the yellow. Say highlight the yellow. Complete these forms before you come to the door, and I will keep that door locked. And I'm just talking to y'all. And when they get to the door, knock on the door, and you can bring them in one at a time. But I know it's 2 or 3 y'all, so y'all might just go and get it out of here. Bring in whatever amount that y'all think y'all can accommodate, and lock the door. And the rest of them just had to wait in line. I'm just talking, y'all. I don't know how to do this. And plus you got
It's an idea.
But when it get cold though.
I guarantee they ain't going nowhere. That's
true. Well, we probably could do clipboards.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the dollar store and get clipboards and just put the forms on the clipboard.
We got plenty of clipboards somewhere around.
And have them line up and have a certain number come in at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And we just be accountable. I'm pretty sure I can ask my son to come in and help with crowd control.
Well, see, I'm thinking about safety.
Well, I don't mind, I'm watching.
Yeah, you gotta watch and pray, but that's what I'm mainly looking at safety.
And if you hear the gun go off, y'all know the run.
Shoot.
No, I'm just saying, I don't want to shoot him, but if I shoot up, then that way they know.
Up here.
I know the squirrel might be hit.
Yes. And they gonna come in here.
No, we'll patch it up by the time.
Well, safety is my main concern.
I don't know, yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Something to think about.
And that's just how I do. I try to look at everything. It's just like when my family go on a trip, a lot of time I don't be wanting to do the stuff they do, but I go because I'm not trying to put myself in place of God, because I'm consulting God to protect us. But I feel better when I'm around, because I'm watching. I might be laughing, when I'm watching. And if I have to, I feel better trying to help than I'm way off and can't. So that's one reason why I'm kind of really in tune with family when we go places and stuff like this. I'm trying to be about safety. I want us to be safe. So those just some ideas. Those are just some ideas. Now, if just say for instance we get and I believe I know I had a whole bunch of clipboards somewhere. We sort of buy more. But I'm just throwing out there, y'all. If you want to number them, number the clipboards. And when like I said, you have 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. When the first 3 get through, or whatever, you got them out. The last number is 3. Take other clipboards out there and tell number 4, 5, and 6 come on in. You know, that way you can, you know, you're not overwhelmed. People ain't just, you know, Bro Tank, he got y'all. Bro Tank, he gonna be standing on guard. And Bro Tank, stand there like you the man. I'm talking about stand there like you the man. You know, flex a little bit, make them chest muscles jump a little bit, like, you know.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
It's something to make them, what you call, I don't know what you call it, they make them just jump. You know, they see, oh, people think twice about that. But anyway, now you ain't got to do all that. You know, I'm just telling with you about that. But like I said, just make your presence and you be watching too, okay?
Yes, sir.
Always watch, man. We you know, we want to protect, you know, want to protect our ministry, we want to protect every person here, especially the women. You know, we ain't got no weak women, but we still want to be there for them. I'm so glad we ain't got no weakness. I think the only somebody run is Jasmine.
No, that's a thug right there.
That's whole thug.
Yeah, I'm just joking with Jasmine. Reason why I said that, because Jasmine run real fast. That's why I said that. If she run, y'all she don't leave y'all. I'll tell y'all. But you know, safety is a major concern. Those just some ideas, y'all. I'm just throwing them out there. I ain't nobody, you ain't gotta do them, nothing like that. But I just want y'all to be safe. That's the main thing.
When we talk about safety, like even when people come in, we need to be on guard, like make sure we watching everybody that comes in, because I mean, we know the world is getting wicked, and now they're targeting a lot of Christians and Christian churches, you know, so we know now that, you know, and I'm not the one to listen to everybody, but there's a lot of people talking about, you know, being guarded, being prepared, because you don't know who's gonna walk in your church and just start shooting, or
there's a lot of copycats out there.
Right, and so and as you see, they burning up things, and corporations are burning up like out of the blue. Like, I mean, it's so much going on, but we as a church need to be on guard, like making sure we are watchful. And the Bible says, be, you know, watch and pray. We're supposed to be watching and praying at all times. You know, we need to make sure the kids know what to do. We need to have a certain, like when we're in school, they, you know, or when you're on your job, you have a fire, people know where to go. You know, they know what to do. We need to do that. We even need to, you know, what is a safety plan. That's it. We need to have a drill. We can even do a drill, like actually do a actual drill, and we need to be able to have people in place over a certain amount of people. Y'all meet in this area. Y'all meet, and you would count all your people and make sure everybody's accounted for. Like, we need to have something like that. If somebody come in with a gun, we need to, you know, what do we do? I mean, we're gonna be praying, but what do we do? I'm going to war. And you even take me down. But I'm just saying, I mean, just, but yeah, everybody, so nobody panics and trample over somebody else's, you know, child or whatever. You know, we need to teach them. You grab a child and you know, grab somebody's child. They're in front, you grab them, you know, and you get them out of harm's way if you can. Like, we need a safety plan.
Well, you're right. That would be good. You know, I know when Sister Felicia was doing the health fairs, I had thought about, you know, we really, you know, I don't did CPR training, you know, I'm telling how many times. I would not be comfortable trying to resuscitate nobody, because you know, you don't practice it enough to, you know, so you'll try to do something. But you know, I had thought about we used to have CPR and as a church group, you know, have somebody come in and just teach it, you know, and so that would be nothing that we should, you know, overlook. I mean, if somebody come in and give us some CPR training, that'll be great. You know, we can set up on Saturday, appropriate time, you know, those that want to come and hear it, and you know, things of that nature. So, you know, we should be preparing for just about anything. You know, we don't know exactly how it's gonna happen or what's gonna happen, but we should be just preparing to be prepared. You know.
I know somebody do self-defense classes, hey,
Yeah.
just a little something.
Oh, I'm sure he knows some people. Now, they do have like a women's training, they always like, it's not sell out, but it's always packed, like, but they do have like a self-defense thing, the sheriff department put it on for women to learn like gun safety, how to fire a weapon, you know, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, what they do for private group. I do know somebody who could do, CPR training for us, and, you know, we get certification, but I would have to see what the cost is. But you have to pay to be certified every year.
Oh, I need to.
Me too. But I'm saying, like, for them to come to us here, what that cost might be. So I will look into that.
And I asked that.
And I will to object to y'all women learning how to fight stuff like that, cause y'all want to hurt somebody. And I don't want my wife going to that.
Yeah, you say she don't hurt you.
Put you in the headlock.
They don't tell you what gonna cross her mind one time. She look at me and don't like what I said or did.
I know, right?
Hey, I don't want to be on the news. Pastor got beat up by his wife. Yeah.
But not just the women, the kids. I mean, you know, because karate is good, even though it can be good or bad, but it's really good because it teaches them the discipline and the fundamentals of, you know.
Well, it's a class I saw on TV. I didn't see the whole class, but it's just some simple protective actions. You know, they you know, like they say, you know, y'all know about a man. You know, y'all know if y'all can just kick him in a certain place, that kind of disable him for a little bit. But this class was also showing how if somebody grabs you, or how to get away, how to grab their hand a certain kind of way and do, you know, it's different things like that, which is good, you know, especially for our women and even some of men, you know, we need it. You know, those are things that we can prepare for, you know, for the rest of the year. We can kind of be looking at some things, and if we don't get it done, you know, get anything going by the end of the year, maybe we can start the year off with a plan, you know, monthly plan, you know, different things like that. It's something I want to do, but I wanted to have a training for the women. Just asked me if they need me. I went over and they said, yeah, but the head of the battery, you know, the part that sticks up, the post, this post was melted. I'm like, what in the world? I'm talking about, I said, you can't jump it because you ain't got nothing to put. The hot post had just like, I'm talking about, it was melted. It was like wax. It had melted. I'm like,